As the mid-October air sets in over Morgantown, West Virginia, a familiar foe comes to town. Iowa State Hawkeyes, only Cyclones. Sorry, not Iowa Hawkeyes. No, Iowa State Cyclones. Only this time they're highly rated, number 11 in the country, and they're coming in to Morgantown to leave with a victory.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done.
Welcome in, everyone, to the Voice of College Football, West Virginia style. I'm Joey Foster. Welcome in. Hey, let's get ready for a great game today. What do you say? Iowa State's coming in. They're highly ranked. They're ranked number 11 in the country. They're undefeated, 5-0. But guess what? West Virginia is undefeated in the Big 12, including victories over Kansas. And last week, we absolutely annihilated Oklahoma State. We're all feeling good about this game. It's a night game in Morgantown. Doesn't get any better than this. Night games in Morgantown are so special. I can think back to all the night games that I've been to in Morgantown. They've all been great. All the ones I've watched on TV have all been great. They've all been close. They've all been really good games, with the exception of maybe one or two where West Virginia blew somebody away, or in one circumstance that I can think of, we were blown away in a night game one time by Oklahoma. But I'm looking forward to the game tonight. We will go over a few of the stats. First off, let me just go right now and just say welcome in, and thank you so much for being here. If you hadn't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. It really doesn't mean a lot to me. I never look at how many thumbs up that we get, but it does mean something to YouTube. It does help hit the algorithms, gets people involved in the channel, gets them to suggest our channel to people. So anyway, let me go over some scores from this weekend so far with you before we get started and deep diving into Iowa State and West Virginia. Last night, anybody catch that game? Arizona State beating Utah 27-19. Cam Rising, oh wow, he had a horrible game. I mean, absolutely horrible. Yeah, it was his first game back in 3 weeks. So you expect him to be a little bit stale or whatever, but wow, he just looked really bad. Today, Clemson took care of Wake Forest 49-14. There was no trouble there. Missouri had their way with UMass, as everybody expected, 45-3. One of the best games of the day that I've watched so far, Alabama and South Carolina. Alabama goes on to pull out the win, 27-25. South Carolina's a really good team. They really are. They should have beat LSU. 16 points taken off the board. I'm harping on that every week because South Carolina got robbed. So I've got to harp on that. Notre Dame, that game's in a delay right now. It's 42-7. Notre Dame over Stanford. Right now, fourth quarter, Texas is all over Oklahoma, 27-3. 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and I don't expect Texas to lose from here. Oklahoma's not been able to do anything yet, and I don't foresee that going on in the future. Right now, good close game, probably the best game on right now. Pitt and Cal are in a battle. It's 17-15 in favor of Pitt right now in the fourth quarter. 4 minutes to go in that game. Illinois is beating Purdue 34-28. That's also in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes to go. Another game, and this absolutely is the best game on right now. And I was watching this before I came in here because USC had a pretty good lead going to the halftime over Penn State. Penn State came back to tie it up. They're still tied 23-23. 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter there. So if you're a Mountaineer fan, I know we're trying to pull for Penn State to win that game. Looks better on us and things. But I guess as a person that really hates Penn State, I'm pulling for USC to win that game. So, because I think at this point, it really doesn't matter. I think they're both really good teams. But they're tied up at 23 right now. Right now, third quarter with a minute to go in the third quarter. BYU is leading Arizona 27-10. BYU having no trouble. BYU is a great team. Probably one of the better teams in the Big 12 this year, along with Iowa State. Right up there, they're both undefeated. So, but they're taking care of business with Arizona right now in Pro Bowl. Third quarter right now, 8 minutes to go. Georgia is up on Mississippi State 34-10. All right, guys, let's see who we've got in here with us tonight. And if you would just say something in the chat so I can recognize you and see that you're here. Appreciate everyone that's with us. I did post a link in the chat if anybody would like to come in with me. I'm hoping that Shane can drop in. Shane's going to the game. If anybody watched our show Thursday night, we had a couple of Iowa State guys on here, Jake and Justin. They did a fantastic job. Amazing guys. They're up at the game today. They came into Morgantown today. They're Iowa State fans, but they came to Morgantown today, and they're in for a good show up there tonight. So Shane's up there partying and hanging out with them over in the blue lot or green lot or wherever they are, and I'm hoping that they can call in and say hi to everybody. But Jackson Johnson, appreciate you being here. Yvette is here with us too. That's my wife. I appreciate you being here, Yvette. She's over babysitting tonight. Blister Bill is here. It says USC is screwing the pooch against Sandusky Street. Yeah. So Blister Bill, I appreciate you being here, brother. All right. Let's see. Pokemon Kid in the house. He said, what you think about the Mountaineers in this game, Joy? I'm going to get into my prediction here in a second. I'm going to talk about this game in depth as much as I possibly can. Frank Fear's here with us as well. Anybody that doesn't catch Frank Fear's show on Wednesday nights, you don't know what you're missing. He has an amazing show, one of the best shows, well, actually, the best show on this channel, without a doubt. You don't look, don't watch me. I'm horrible. I have decent shows that with some guests sometimes, but Frank has some of the best guests on his show every single week, week in and week out. And you really need to tune in on Wednesday nights to Mountaineer Locker Room. Trying to think, Trickett going to be on his show this coming Wednesday night. Coach Trickett. Last week was oh my goodness gracious! I'm sorry, guys, I can't think of the name, but I always look forward to Frank's shows. And if you didn't catch this past Wednesday's show, go back and watch it. Really, really good. He has such amazing guests. So anyway, Tommy Bowden, that's who it was. Thank you, Jackson Johnson. Hey, God, it was slipping my mind. Tommy Bowden was on with him Wednesday night. All right, guys, let's let me post a link one more time in the chat if anybody'd like to come in with me and say a few words. Let me know what you think about this game. Let's deep dive into this for a second here. So Iowa State coming in here, they are 5-0. undefeated, ranked number 11 in the country, number one in the Big 12, along with BYU. Rocco Beck has thrown for 1,173 yards. They got a pretty good rushing attack. Jackson in the backfield, he's their leading rusher with 295 yards. Their leading receiver is Jay Noel, wide receiver with 451 yards. Their leading tackler is Ebel, a linebacker. He's got 35 tackles on the year. And D. Porter, their defensive back, has 2 interceptions on the year. This is a really, very good team that's carried the ball 181 times on the year for 917 yards, averaging 5.1 yards a carry. They have a long of 77, and they have 9 touchdowns rushing. So this defensive line from West Virginia, we know it's stout. We know we've got a really good defensive line. They're going to have to be really stout today. Stop this run, shut this run down, and make them one-dimensional. Now, making them one-dimensional is tricky because they have some excellent wide receivers, including one that's caught a touchdown pass, Higgins, in 7 consecutive games. He's caught a touchdown pass. Right now, Higgins has 33 receptions for 403 yards. He averages 12.2 yards a reception. His longest is 26, and he has 5 touchdowns on the year. And Noel, that I mentioned a while ago, who's their leading receiver, he has 24 receptions for 451. He's averaging 18.8 yards a catch. His longest 75, and he has 2 touchdowns. And then they have Breimer, tight end. Their tight end has 7 catches on the year, 145 yards, averaging 20.7 yards a catch. So they don't use their tight end often, but when they do, it's very effective. He has a long of 39 and a touchdown. And E. Green, wide receiver, he has 4 catches for 44 yards, averaging 11 yards a catch, and 22 for a long, no touchdowns, and stuff. And then we go on down. They've got so many receivers with catches this year, it's not funny. If I sit here and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I see 16 receivers with a catch this year for Iowa State. That's unreal. That's amazing. Their kicking game, they don't slouch there, right? They just don't. They have one of the better special teams. Reminds me of a Frank Beamer special team. Anybody remember this Frank Beamer team from Virginia Tech? Yeah, pretty daggone good. Heard somebody come in here with me. Hey, there's Mr. Jackson Johnson. What's going on, Jackson?
It's going pretty good, Joey. Just every day I'm hustling and hustling. How you doing today, man?
Good, brother. So your Alabama team pulled out a squeaker today over South Carolina.
That was a scary one. My God.
Yeah, it's a good game. Really good game.
Oh yeah. I'm just like I hope we play better against Tennessee next week.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good game. Tennessee, they lost last week just like you. They lost to who? Was it Arkansas? Arkansas, wasn't it? So, that was a surprise loss, just like your loss to Vanderbilt. Not as big a surprise as your loss to Vanderbilt, but still a surprise loss. So, anyway, let me get back to reading some of this, Jackson. You're going to stick around for a little bit, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I figured you were. All right, so back to Iowa State again. Let's talk about their defense. For tackles, their leading tackler right now, they have a couple of tacklers with 19 solo tackles, and that's Ebel and Freiler. One's a linebacker. Ebel is a linebacker, and Freiler's a defensive back. And then they have Burden, their defensive back, who has 18 solo tackles. I was talking about their special teams, guys. West Virginia has not had very good special teams this year. We've been kicking the ball out of bounds a lot, giving it to them on the 35. When we do kick it, it's short, and they return it back to at least 25 and sometimes further. These guys can break it on you on special teams. We need a very good special teams today. And then on top of that, when we have to punt that ball, we really gotta watch our protection because these guys can get after the ball as well. So we have to really watch that. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna bring somebody else in here, and we've got Caden the man. Hey, Caden, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? You ready to rock?
Ready to rock, man. Are you ready for this game?
Oh, you best believe I'm going to be watching this game. Along with my Buckeyes game, I'm going to be watching. These are my top personal two favorite games that I'm going to be watching. So, best wishes to the Mountaineers to kick out number 11 Iowa State. So,
Yeah. So, what do you think? Let me ask you, Caden. What do you think some keys to the game are for the Mountaineers?
I think just the home, they got to bring the energy against Iowa State. Iowa State's got their nice uniforms on. The Cyclones, they're going to be playing the mind games during out the game, the psychological games, try to kick you guys off the game. They're going to try different things, but I think for West Virginia, it's just bring the home energy, bring the energy in Morgantown, just bring it, and I know they will.
Yeah, I mean, them the psychological games aren't going to work on the Mountaineers, not on their home field, I don't think.
No, but it sometimes can kick people off their game, and I've watched that personally. But the thing is, with West Virginia, they got to play Iowa State for 60 minutes, and I know they can. Just bring the physicality to Iowa State at home, and I'm telling you, it'll be West Virginia upsets Iowa State. Pardon me, I'm still thinking about the Ohio State-Iowa game.
Hey, that's all right, because in my intro, I said the Iowa State Hawkeyes were coming to Morgantown. So
it's the Iowa State Cyclones.
I know. I had to correct myself. That's what I say. I had to correct myself. But anyway, can Cade run on West Virginia? I don't think anybody can run on West Virginia, to be honest with you. I think that I think our defensive line is so stout.
I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. That defensive line at West Virginia is a stout line, and they can cause people problems, especially if it's under a home crowd. Oh, that's going to be causing Iowa State huge problems.
Yeah, we got to make them one-dimensional and make them throw the ball. The problem is our secondary gets shredded, and so we need our secondary to step up today. If our secondary can step up, and they did a pretty good job last week of stepping up against Oklahoma State. Mind you, Oklahoma State did have a couple of passes down the field on us, and at times, I was sitting there cussing and throwing things at the TV like everybody else was. But at the same time, West Virginia did kind of shut Oklahoma State down last week. Iowa State's a different monster, though. You're talking seventh-year seniors from tackle to tackle on that offensive line of Iowa State. You're talking about a team that returns 19 out of 22 starters this year. So they are loaded, absolutely loaded. And that's what it seems to be Matt Campbell's forte, is to go a few years, maybe make a small bowl game here and there, but then like every 4 to 5 years have this team that's just going to absolutely dominate and be really good. That's what Iowa State is this year. They're that daggone good. Can they come into Morgantown on a night game in a blackout situation? West Virginia's donning the black uniforms for the first time tonight, the Cole uniforms. I'm looking forward to that. I'm a traditional old gold and blue kind of guy, but to pay homage to the coal miners, I am all for these black uniforms tonight, and I'm looking forward to seeing it under the lights in Morgantown, and especially with the new light shows, the new fireworks, everything that we've had done over the last year, everything that was installed over the last year. I'm really looking forward to that.
And your other point here, let me point this out too, Joey. West Virginia is one of the most underrated teams in the Big 12. Underrated. But in my opinion, they should be in the top 5 of the Big 12's, top 5 powerhouses. BYU and Iowa State, I give them credit. Like, those guys have held down, their opponents with superiority. But when you talk about underrated and just straight up, a dark horse, that's West Virginia. West Virginia is a team who will bring it, but they'll surprise you. So I feel like you guys got Iowa State a surprise in there. Maybe throw them off in the first half and then light them up as soon as you throw them off a little bit. give them that early celebration, and then pump the brakes on them, make them pump the brakes, and then just beat them from there. That's all I say.
Yeah. So if we look at comparisons here, there's not this is a pretty good thing to look at here. So Rocco Beck, for their quarterback for Iowa State, he's thrown for 1,173 yards. But our quarterback Garrett Green is thrown for 1,061, and he's really a dual threat quarterback that runs the ball more than anything. Their leading rusher is Jackson with 295 yards. Ours is C.J. Donaldson with 361 yards. Their leading receiver has 451 yards, though. Our leading receiver is Hudson Clement, has 295 yards. Tacklers, the leading tackler on their team's 35, got 35 tackles. Leading tackler on our team's Josiah Trotter, linebacker, he's got 34. So, there's a lot that I think that I think there's a lot of similarities when you're looking at offense. And one thing I do know is that West Virginia's offensive line is really dominant up front and really, they pushed everybody around they played. The offensive line has really given Garrett Green a lot of protection, a whole lot of protection. As a matter of fact, let me look down through here real quick. I'm trying to think how many sacks Garrett Green has. So Garrett Green's been sacked 10 times. But the thing about it is, you got to remember, he scrambles around back there and stuff. So, and he runs the ball a lot. So sometimes they get him a half yard behind the line of scrimmage when he's trying to run and can get out of a little bit of trouble. But he lost 44 yards on those, but still, he's one of the leading rushers on the team. So
Right.
he's really, really good. Now, Iowa State's quarterback, he's only been sacked twice. So they've got a pretty stout defensive line too, or offensive line too. But I don't think they faced a defensive line like West Virginia's got this year. I really feel like our defensive line will be able to get in there and get some pressure on Rocco Beck and shut down that running game. We hope anyway, and make them one-dimensional and make them have to throw the ball. And I hope that we're getting pressure quickly on Rocco Beck so that he has to throw the ball quickly, so they're short underneath passes and they go for little to no gain. That's what I hope for.
Well, I'm gonna just say this to you, Joey. Pump the brakes there for 1 second, buddy, because I wanted to bring this up to you. Remember how I was talking about the West Virginia Penn State game, and I said that game was close.
Yeah.
So let me
Yeah, I
just say
remember you
this:
saying it.
the Penn State West Virginia game gave. I think that was kind of where Garrett Green was kind of getting trouble there, because Penn State, that's a good team. Now, opening up the first week against Penn State, and I know West Virginia fans don't like that Penn State game, but the only reason I'm bringing it up is because that just shows West Virginia can hang with a top 10 defensive line. So Penn State's, number 5 in the Big Ten. And Iowa State's number 2 team in the Big 12. So I feel like Iowa State's going to get some problems on for their defensive line, because West Virginia's offensive line is going to really start trying to get them boys moved so Garrett Green can be able to, make those downfield passes. So he can be able to, get a few yards. And so Iowa State's pretty much got trouble on the defensive side of their team. They got to deal with Garrett, who's a great dual threat quarterback who should be in the Heisman candidate talk conversation, but I don't know why they don't. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that. So Iowa State, I feel like they're going to have some problems tonight when they deal with y'all in Morgantown tonight, especially with Derek Green and with C.J. Johnson. Y'all are going to be causing Iowa State some big problems on offense, but also defensively. That defensive line for West Virginia is a stout. They gave Drew Penningway at Penn State big time, huge problems. So Iowa State's going to have to really do some extra protection, but I feel like extra protection wouldn't help, because if West Virginia's defensive line plays as well as they did against Oklahoma State, then Iowa State's going to be having some huge trouble. And if that defensive line of West Virginia steps up tonight, that secondary of West Virginia is also going to step up, and they're going to show like, hey, they're not just standing back there. They're going to make a couple good plays, like a couple forced fumbles, possibly an interception. I feel like that's, West Virginia's plan with that kind of idea. You want to be able to make Iowa State backfire and be able to go to their second option, but their second option is going to backfire on them. So what they got to do? they're just going to have to play. They're just going to have to end up in West Virginia's hands, and there's an easy game right there. West Virginia's got them right there where they want them. So that's my two cents.
Speaking of Penn State, you talking about Penn State a while ago. Speaking of Penn State, they were tied with USC at 23.
Yeah.
USC took the lead to make it 30-23. Penn State just scored to make it 30-30. And unfortunately, if you're a Penn State fan, let me just give you some bad news. Lincoln Riley is one of the better offensive coordinators, and his 2-minute offense is absolutely amazing. So watch out if you're a Penn State fan, because there's 2 minutes and 53 seconds to go in that game. USC is going to have the ball. So,
if USC can win this game, it'll be the first time since the 2016 season that they have defeated a top 5 team.
True, Jackson, that is true. But here's my thing for Southern Cal. Southern Cal against Penn State, that's an equal match type of game. My question is, and as a Buckeye fan, I'm going to ask this question to all the Southern Cal fans. Is Southern Cal ready to play Ohio State? A top-tier defense, number 1 in the country, number 1 in the Big Ten for the fewest points allowed. Are they ready to hang with, a defense that allows the fewest points, that sacked many people over the last 6 weeks? And even though we play nobody, we still showed that this is a top-tier defense that could shut down anybody, any day, anytime, anywhere. I'm gonna say this, and I'm sorry to make this insult, but this insult's necessary, Joey and Jackson. But Tim and Matt, I don't know what the hell is their problem with Ohio State, but it seems like they're jealous of Ohio State. And if USC played Ohio State right now, it'd be a bad situation on their half. I guarantee you, and I can guarantee you on that fact.
I kind of agree. I kind of agree with you. I think Ohio State's a much better team than USC is right now. And I agree that I don't agree that Penn State and USC are equally matched. I think Penn State is just out there at USC. I think if they were on neutral field, Penn State wins that game. And I know Penn State wins that game in Happy Valley. But at USC, I think that's the only thing keeping USC in this game, in my opinion. One final note, one more note here. Final now. Pittsburgh has defeated Cal 17-15. That game is all over. So Pittsburgh remains undefeated. That nobody's seen that coming. Nobody.
And it's the first time since 1982 that Pitt sits in O.
Yeah. Yeah, and the last time Pitt looked this good, guess what they did? They won the ACC. So can they repeat this year? They look pretty good. I don't think they look as good as Miami though, but they look pretty good. I know. Miami's.
Well, they don't. I don't think they have Miami on their schedule this year, so that's going to really help them.
Right, they don't have Miami, but they may play them in the conference championship. That could possibly happen. And I think Miami's the better team. I think Miami will win the ACC.
Pitt and Miami are both unbeaten in the ACC title game. Does that mean we're going to see the win? Both teams get in irregardless in the 12.
I would almost think so. Just like Big 12, if you had 2 undefeated teams playing in the Big 12 championship game, whoever loses probably getting into playoffs. And actually, I would almost say that if it was a 1-loss team playing for the conference championship and they lost again, there might even be a chance that they get. But I guess it'd be according to the rankings, right? Just where they're going to be, where they're going to fall in the rankings. If you have a 1-loss team that's ranked 17th in the country playing for a conference championship and they lose, obviously they're not getting in. But if they're ranked 6th or 7th in the country and they lose to a top-ranked team that's probably 13th or 14th or something in the country, I think there's a chance both of them get. That would be my thoughts on that.
Really, by the way, I was on Thursday night show, the crossover show.
Yes, I seen you.
And I was wondering when you were going to drop the StreamYard link for that show, because I was wanting to jump talk to some Iowa State fans.
Well, I didn't that show because I had them on, and I had them the whole hour, and they were just special guests coming on the show. So I didn't drop the link that night. I usually do, almost always on the crossover show. I almost always drop the link, but I had both of them on there and stuff, and I wanted them to be able to talk about what they wanted to talk about, So that's why I didn't drop the link. But most shows, I think everybody in the chat will tell you, most shows, I drop the link right away. Tell you to come on in there and join me, and let's hang out and talk college football. And I'm gonna drop it again in case anybody else would like to come in. I love having people in here and let's talk college football. There's nothing better. Now let's talk about this one thing though, because I got to ask everybody a question. Jackson, you've watched South Carolina this year.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have, and I've watched South Carolina this year. They should have beat LSU. We both agree to that. We've talked about that the night it happened. We've talked about it the last 2 weeks. They should have beat LSU. South Carolina probably should have beat Alabama today. Alabama did not look that great. Probably should have beat Alabama.
We don't look like a playoff team, let alone a national title team.
No, not at all. You're right, not at all. But now that's going to happen. You're under a first-year head coach there, right? He's got to get his people in place.
Right.
Mind you, I know you've got 5-star talent on 5-star talent on top of 5-star talent there, but still yet, that may not fit his mold, of what he wants to do. So there's going to be some a learning curve there, and there's going to be some growing pains. So I could understand him losing a couple of games this year, and I'm sure you can too, Jackson. Problem is can the Alabama fan base put up with it? Because I got news for you, Jackson.
Yeah,
your Alabama fan base is spoiled as shit. Y'all are so friggin' spoiled.
Last year, not last year, last week, all I heard was Nick Saban wouldn't have done that. Nick Saban wouldn't have done, which I knew that reaction was coming. I was like, Jesus God, do they not remember the Sheila era and the Mike DeBose era and all the other eras before then? Like, my God.
Where did Nick Saban go his first year there? 2007?
2007. We went 7-6.
7-6 for Nick Saban.
That was the last time we lost back-to-back regular season games since.
Yeah. So, every coach is going to have learning pains. I don't care what program you go to. When Urban Meyer took over Ohio State, what did he go his first season there?
12-0.
His first season?
First season at Ohio State, 2012, 12-0.
Oh, okay. I was thinking he.
They did. They did go 12-0.
Okay, for some reason I was thinking he went 9-3.
No, he went 12-0.
Good deal. Well,
you must be thinking of Utah from Urban Meyer's era.
Maybe. I don't think so, though. I doubt it. I doubt I'm thinking of Utah. I never think of Utah.
Well, can I point this?
Well, Florida. My mistake. Yeah.
Also say, Jackson, just point this out to Alabama fans that, the programs has seen worse years, so I wouldn't complain about, Kalen DeBoer losing to Vanderbilt or coming close to South Carolina. That's going to happen.
I know that.
I'm not trying to downgrade no Alabama fans here, but if they want to talk crap to me, that's fine. They can come and find me on my YouTube channel. By the way, Joey and Jackson, I wanted to ask you guys, could you subscribe to my YouTube channel? I'm going to be streaming tomorrow or sometime during next week, and I wanted to just maybe have you guys on and possibly, I'm going to be talking college football next week. So,
absolutely, Jackson. Can you drop his link? What's the name of your channel? Is it Caden the Man?
It's Caden the Man 614.
And Jackson will drop your link for you there.
Is it a capital K, Caden?
It's a capital K, capital T, capital M.
Capital K, T, M. Caden.
And I'll tell you this too, Joey. That Tim and Matt duo, I'll tell you, if I had $1 for every time they hated Ohio State, oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. 14 seconds to go in the Penn State USC game. They're still tied at 30.
Oh, USC's gonna win.
What a good game. Surprising turn of events. Purdue has taken the lead over Illinois 43-40. So Illinois had a great season. They
Penn State and Illinois are the dummies around here. Sorry, I had to do that. That was just for entertainment purposes.
Our friend Sonny Verma is not going to be too happy about the noise. Like,
But Joey, I'll tell you this too. Them Southern Cal fans, they've been commenting on my video, or they've been talking crap to my social media. And I tell you what, they are really dumb. I don't know what they got a problem with Ohio State with. Either it's our bull record history or something. I don't know what. But geez, it's been a lot of it.
So Blister Bill's telling us in the chat that Penn State just intercepted the ball.
Yep. We're going to overtime, buddy.
Going to overtime. Yeah.
They're going to overtime? Dang.
Well, I think there's still a little bit. Let me look. It says on here there's 5 seconds left. Now I don't know if that's true, but yeah, I'd say it's going to overtime. 30-30 right now. It's a Penn State USC game. But you know something. All of a sudden that loss to Pittsburgh and Penn State for that matter, we all know the loss to Penn State doesn't look so bad on West Virginia. Hey, that loss to Pittsburgh don't look so bad either because Pittsburgh looks like probably one of the better teams out of the ACC, if not the number 2 team under Miami, and possibly even the number 1 team. We don't know yet. So Pittsburgh went on to win 17-15 today, and that so hats off to them. Y'all can eat shit, Pitt, as long as y'all want to. I don't care. Just know that you are beneath West Virginia. That's all I want you to know.
Well, I'll tell you this, Joey. Go Mountaineers, beat the Cyclones, because I'd like to see that tonight, or I like to see that because, honestly, Iowa State, I would love to see them in the playoffs, but I love to see West Virginia as much as they would be, and I would love to see BYU. It's been a long time since they have, but you know what? It'd be good because Ohio State's schedule is garbage, and we need competition. The Big 12 seems like they got competition, but clearly the Big 10 won't schedule any one of them against us because clearly they think that we're not ready. I'm like, this Ohio State team is loaded, locked down, and loaded, and we are ready for anyone, any day, any time. I will tell you, anybody who schedules the Big 10 schedules for us is a 5-star dummy. Seriously, they are really dummies. 5-star dummies. I'm telling you, Joey, we are a team ready, locked, loaded, and ready to roll. Come on.
That's
there.
He's got that Uncle Lou vibe going.
Yeah, he's pulling out the Uncle Lou stuff here. 5-star dummy. Yeah, that's.
And I got an Ohio State bullhorn.
And do that one more time, Caden.
You want me to do it again, Jackson?
Absolutely.
I'll tell you, Tim and Matt, 5-star dummy.
Eric Flowers says, man, I was cooping a better on 11-team parlay. I won the first 8 games. Arizona is killing me. I had Oregon and WVU left. Well, on a
Eric Flowers had
parlay,
Oregon. He had Oregon. 5-star dummy. Come on. Don't you dare bet Oregon against Ohio State. Because I'm going to tell you what, defense wins championships, and Ohio State's defense is going to show Dan Lanning why you don't schedule Ohio State. I'm going to tell you again, you piece of crap, 5-star dummy. I'm telling you, Eric, you do not bet against the Buckeyes any day of the week. Now, y'all can brag about 2021, but this is 2024, so get your head out of your rear end and be ready to go because we're ready to roll. You 5-star dummy.
Bean, I have to tell you right now, Pitt's best win, probably SMU right now. I mean, West Virginia is probably good, but SMU, they're ranked. They're a pretty good team. So I think that might be Pitt's best win right now is SMU.
Now I've got a question for Bean. Bean, between Ohio State and Pitt, if it wasn't the playoff quarterfinals, who do you got picked? I got that question for you.
Who's that for, Bean?
Yeah, that is for Bean. I said Bean, Pitt versus OSU. That's Ohio State, the Ohio State University. Who do you got?
Look at there, Caden.
Listerville, 5-star dummy. You and Eric Flowers are part of the 5-star dummy group again. 5-star dummy. You gotta be kidding me.
Mr. Bill, come in here and defend your ducks. Come in here and defend your ducks. Where is Ben and Spaz and all them at? We need Ben and Spaz in here to defend
Come
their
on,
ducks.
where you at, Spaz? You
Maybe
5-star.
maybe I should text them. Maybe I should text them, tell them to get their ass in here and defend
Joey,
themselves.
text them and tell them they better get on this show because I got a message for them. 5-star dummy.
Hell, they might be doing a pregame over on the Oregon channel. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's all good. I placed a new bet. I took Oregon.
Come on, Joey. I'm an Ohio State man. You got to realize I'm on the channel here.
Look at this. They're trolling you, though, Caden. They're talking shit to you, man. It's all good. I placed a new bet and I took Oregon. After you called him a 5-star dummy.
Eric, you are a 5-star dummy. I'm telling you, you don't bet against the Buckeyes. Defense wins titles, and a defense crushes opponents. Now, that being said, let me tell you something. Georgia versus Oregon, 49-3. You thought that was child's play. This one is going to be a whole other subject of a bloody beat-out. Courtesy of the Ohio State University Buckeyes, buddy. So, hey, Joey, go Mountaineers. We'll see you in the playoffs. And Jackson, do me a favor. I'm going to say all to your Bama fans, next year is always the better year, you buddy boy.
But now, hold on a second, Caden, before you leave. I've got to show you something, okay?
Go ahead.
Hold on 1 second. Let me bring this up. All right, so this is my betting card. And I've not bet on these night games yet. But let me just go down through here. Let me find. Let me find the Euro game. Uh-oh. Where are they at? I gotta place my bet here.
You better make the smart decision here, Joey.
Well, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. Let me see what I'm gonna do here.
You better make it smart or else.
College football. What the hell am I doing here? I don't know what I've done.
Did you place a baseball bet? Because baseball season's over.
Yeah, I don't know what I've done here. I can't get to
Screw the baseball season. It's college football season, for God darn sake. You don't know that?
I'm taking West Virginia straight up win this game. I'm not taking the points or nothing. I'm taking them straight up.
I got West Virginia winning it too.
Yeah, I'm taking them straight up win the game. Then Georgia Southern and Marshall won't give a shit. Vanderbilt, Kentucky don't give a shit. Syracuse, North Carolina State don't care a shit. Colorado, Kansas State. I'm taking Kansas State straight up to win that game.
Kansas State. Well, I'll tell you this, Joey. I got Ohio State winning by 49.5 plus.
All right, here we go. Ohio State, Oregon. Which one do I take? Am I a 5-star dummy? Yes, I am. I'm taking Oregon straight up to win it. I'm betting a parlay. And here's how confident I am in these picks. All right, I've got West Virginia straight up to win. I've got Kansas State straight up to win, and I've got Oregon straight up to win. And I will place a parlay bet of $500.
So you're betting $500 on Oregon?
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. I got to bet 100. I'm gonna bet 100 on that game, and I'm gonna bet all these games.
Okay,
sorry guys. I am really. I'll bet 50 on that one. On the Oregon game, though, I will go ahead and take a $100 bet straight up for Oregon to win. Then I'm gonna bet 500 on a parlay. I don't know why I'm chatting. I don't mean to be chatting. Place my bet. And here we go. Confirm the bet. There we go. I took Oregon. Straight up, dude. Sorry, Ohio State. I think Oregon's got too much offense for you. I think Oregon's got too much offense for you. So I got
some news for you, Joey. Ohio State's got too much defense. And I'm going to tell you that defense is going to smoke Oregon. If you can't take the lesson, you 5-star dummy.
USC just missed field goal, and now it's Penn State's turn.
Well, USC is a 5-star dummy. So I'm gonna.
USC scored a field goal. Is that what you said,
No,
Jackson?
they missed a field goal. Now it's
missed
Penn
it.
State's turn.
Hell. Yeah, USC's going to lose this game, man, because Penn State's got a pretty good field goal kicker. He won't miss.
Oh man, the USC postgame show. I don't think Tim's going to be very happy.
No, he won't be. No.
No.
Mr. Bill says I'm out of control.
Well, guess what? I'm
says
going to make
out
him
of
upset anyways, so he's going to hate me for the rest of his life because he's a 5-star dummy.
Yeah, I probably am. You're probably right, but that's okay. I know I'm not a 5-star dummy on West Virginia beating Iowa State straight up. So, I know I'm not a 5-star dummy on Kansas State taking him straight up to win. I might be a 5-star dummy on Oregon beating Ohio State straight up, but I'm taking it. I think Oregon's going to beat you.
Joey, you're smart about West Virginia beating Iowa State at home, but it's just Oregon beating Ohio State. That's where I'm drawing the line. 5-star dummy.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Ain't happening. I do not see you beating Oregon tonight. Oregon's got such a great offense.
Well, I got some news for you, Joey. You better pay attention to Ohio State's offense and defense. So you better be careful about what you write down, buddy. So
yeah,
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Oregon has beat everybody they played by 28 points or more. 28 points or more. They beat everybody they played. Oregon has. So get serious with me for a second here. Get serious with me for a second, Caden. Tell me what Ohio State can do to stop that Oregon offense.
Rush young Gabriel. He's not a dual threat quarterback. So if they rush him, they pretty much got him in the bag. They're pretty much gonna throw his body around like a dead weight carcass.
I don't think he does, Dean. I don't believe he does.
And plus, he's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns this season. So if he throws more interceptions in this game and fumbles the ball again, Ohio State's pretty much going to make short work of that little scrubby boy there.
How about this? If Ohio State didn't have Chip Kelly, I wouldn't be worried.
Oh, 5-star dummy. We're still the same team, Blizzard Bill.
Hey, Caden, all I ask is that you come back to this stream tomorrow when I do my wrap-up show for the weekend. And after Oregon kicks your ass tonight, you come back into the stream tomorrow so we can just have a big old 5-star dumbass. I'm not going to say dummy. I'm going to say 5-star dumbass. Caden is with us. And I'm going to make a big, whole, long video about it.
Well, here's the thing. If I win, I'm going to be the one that's partying.
And yeah, I know you won't even be here tomorrow. You'll still be hungover when I have my show tomorrow.
I won't be hungover. I'm just going to be the one that's celebrating after Ohio State whips Oregon's ass. And I told Mark Rogers he's also a 5-star dummy. So I'll leave it at that with you boys, but go Mountaineers because them Oregon Ducks ain't going to last 30 minutes against the Ohio State defense.
Anybody that has 40, 50, 60, 70 channels as a 5-star dummy, but that's just me now.
Yeah. All right, Caden, I appreciate you coming in, brother. Always good to have you. You're always welcome. Stop in anytime. We'll see you later, man.
See you, man.
Go Mountaineers and go Bucks.
Go, yeah. Go Ducks. Is that what you said? Go Ducks. Hi, Caden. I see you in the back room. I'm not bringing you back in. I'm not going to let you revenge that. Nelson coming in. Hey, Nelson, how you doing, brother?
All right, man. See you there? How you like that?
You ready for the Iowa State West Virginia game tonight? Give me what your thoughts are on the game.
My thoughts that game.
You'll have to turn your TV down because I'm getting some feedback.
Yeah. All right. I think WVU has successful on the ground. I think WVU breaks over 300 yards this game. And I believe Garrett Green will go over 200 because when that run sets up, then they play action sets up. They'll go right to their tight end. Watch and see if he don't play a big role in this game tonight. I
Um,
just feel it.
if I look at the stats, and I go down to receiving, our tight ends had 13 catches for 158 yards, averaging 12.2 yards a carry, long
Mhm.
39, 2 touchdowns. Excuse me, Taylor, who's a transfer from LSU, right? Transfer
Yes,
from LSU.
sir.
So he's a very good tight end. We use our tight end a lot more than Iowa State does. Iowa State's only
Yes,
had
we do.
seven passes to their tight end this year. They've only
Oh yeah.
targeted their tight end 7 times. So I agree with you. The tight end should have a big game this game. I really feel like our offensive line will push them around. Do you feel the same way, Nelson?
Oh yeah, because especially on our right side with Milam, uh,
Yeah,
he'll
that's not.
dominate. Yeah,
Yeah,
left side he'll dominate. Well, right side too, because you got right there. You got what's his name? That walk on. What's his face? Malone.
I think the battle to watch today on this game, it's not necessarily the score or how good a quarterback is or how good a running back is. In all honesty, I think the thing to watch on this game is they've got seventh year seniors from tackle to tackle on offensive line, and our
Right.
defensive line is very very stout. We know this. I mean, look how many tackles we lost for losses we've had this year. I mean, our
Oh yeah.
defensive line is very good. That's going to be something to watch right there in them trenches. Our defensive line against their offensive line. If they're getting some open holes and they can run the ball, that's going to be a problem because they're going to be able to pass it against West Virginia in that secondary. So I worry about that. So our defensive line has to play a good stout game, and I think if we can shut them down and make them one dimensional, we can maybe have a chance in this game. But at the same time, I still worry about our secondary. But
So
like I said before, though Nelson, the biggest thing to me is special teams. Special teams is what I'm more worried about than anything. The last time I was just worried about special teams was last year when we played Houston, and I said before the Houston game, watch special teams. We have to watch
Right.
out because their special teams are special, and look what the hell they
Yeah.
did to us. They tore
Oh
our ass
yeah.
up on special teams. That's the only
Oh
reason
yeah.
they beat us.
They averaged on punts that game punt returns to the 40-yard line.
Yeah,
They averaged to the 40, and
and
West
Iowa
Virginia's
State's
trying to keep.
better. And Iowa
Oh
State's
yeah,
better on special teams.
West Virginia's best just kick it out of bounds.
You might be right
That's
this game. And the thing about it is, we might be kicking it out of bounds and not even mean to, because that's
Yeah.
all we seem to do this year. Even Neil Brown addressed that and said, hey, we're not doing it on purpose. I guarantee
Yeah.
you that it's not by design.
Well, that keeps them from running the back on us.
Yeah, it
You know.
does. It does keep them from running it back on it. Gives it to them at the 35-yard line. You'd like for them to have it. You'd like to be able to kick it to like 1 yard into the end zone and make that runner think, and he comes
Oh
out
yeah.
and you tackle him at the 15-yard line or something. You'd like that.
Yeah.
But that with our special teams, you can't trust that. So you either got to kick it out of the end zone or kick it out of bounds. That's where I agree with you, Nelson.
The only one that's made real good tackles on special team has been Ben Cutter. Ben Cutter has been the big special team guy. He's been
Yeah.
our leader on special teams, and that's just one player. It should be multiple. It's
I
it's just
agree.
like we got downfalls on that end. And at the beginning of the season, Neil Brown said, "Oh, our special teams is better. We've improved on this," and they have not.
Now, one thing we do have that's kind of special is we got a kicker. As
Yes,
far as extra points and field goals, right? He's
yes,
he's
sir.
100% on the year on everything. He's 100% on the year.
Yep,
He's already
40.
scored 36 points, I think. He's got 36 points,
Mm-hmm.
18 for 18 on extra points. I'm trying to remember this from memory, and I think he's made 7 of 7 field goals, or is it
7 of 7.
is
7
it
of
7 of
7.
7? I'm doing it
Yep,
from memory. I'm trying to remember.
yep.
We do have that part of special teams figured out. We do have a kicker for
He's got a leg.
extra points and field goals.
Oh, he's got a leg. He hit 151, and it would have went from 60. He's got a
Yeah.
leg on him. And
speaking
I just still believe our running game is what's going to control this game.
So Penn State has beaten USC. The final score now 33-30. Penn State has defeated USC. Penn State remains undefeated. Good
That's
close
good.
game. USC gave them a scare.
Ryan Baker kicked a 36-yarder to lead Penn State to victory as they survived the Trojans 33-30. And this is an early question I've got for all of us. Will we see Penn State, Ohio State be a number 1, number 2 matchup, 2-3 matchup?
No.
What are we looking at here?
Be 1-4. If Ohio State dominates tonight, which I think they will, I think Ohio State's going to blow Oregon out.
Even
I really
after
believe it.
even after me picking on Caden and betting on Oregon.
I really believe they're going to blow them out. I believe it's going to be somewhere like 45-21, somewhere in there. I just don't.
One more game has gone final. Illinois has pulled it out their ass and beat Purdue 50-49. So anybody that took the over on that game, congratulations, because I think the over under on that game was like 48.
Whoever
Wow.
got the bet correct on Illinois Purdue, I want to know what they think the winning lottery numbers are going to be.
Yeah, really. Illinois 50-49.
I remember back in 2004 when we had Rich Rodriguez his first couple of years, when we didn't have a quarterback. But we did have a quarterback, but we played Penn State that year. It was the first time that Rich Rodriguez played Penn State. Penn State beat us by 7 points. And we ended up only winning 6 games that year. You know, we lost so many players in that year, 2004, that we never did really recover until 2007.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, guys, you know what time it is.
It's about time, buddy.
Sorry, Nelson. We've got 3 minutes. Excuse me. There you go. We've got 3 minutes until Tony Creedy gives his little pep talk to the fans, right?
Yeah.
Hey, so tune in to Tony Creedy on the radio here in about 3 minutes. But I'm going to send you one more place, too. You've got to do this. Everybody in here, go over to the USC channel at the Voice of College Football for the post-game show and tell Tim Joey said he's very sorry about this loss. Just type that in the chat. Joey said he's very sorry about this loss. I told him last night they was going to lose to Penn State. I told him last night on his call-in show. I was the last caller on there, and I told him, I said, I'm sorry, I can't take USC. I wish y'all would win this game. I really do.
He might block me.
But Penn State's going to win. He won't block you. If he does, I'll get you unblocked. Just go in there and just type in. Joey said that he's sorry that you lost. So Joey sent me, and he said he's sorry that you lost to Penn State, but he told you so, or something like that. I don't care what you say. As long as you don't cuss and get kicked out of there, I'll be all right. But anyway, Nelson Jackson, I appreciate you. What's
your score for the WVU game? I didn't get your score.
So let's do that. Let me do that. All right. So here's my keys to the game. Number 1, West Virginia's got to play special teams. If they don't play very good special teams, we're in trouble. Right off the bat, we've got to have good special teams. Number 2, our secondary has to step up. Number 3, we need to get a turnover, and we don't need to turn the ball over. We got to hold on to the ball, and we need to get at least 1 turnover. If we do those 3 things, I think we could beat Iowa State 27-24. If we slip up on even one of them, if we don't get a turnover, or if we turn the ball over and we don't get one, or we don't play good on special teams, guess what? We're going to lose this game, 27-21. But I think if we can do them 3 things, 3 keys to the game for West Virginia, they have to do all 3 of them to win this game. They can win this game 27-24. That's my final score prediction, because I think West Virginia does do that. I think Neil Brown has the players ready to play. I trust him. I don't trust Jordan Leslie yet. But last week, he went a little bit further of making me feel like, okay, he is a pretty good defensive coordinator. But it was Oklahoma State.
They played a 4-3 defense last week too.
Right.
And
It
that's
was
surprising.
right, but it was an Oklahoma State team that's kind of down and not doing real well and stuff. So anyway, guys, go over there to the USC show. You don't have to troll him. Don't troll him. Just go over there and tell him, hi and stuff. Tell him that Joey sent you over there if you would. But don't troll him, for goodness sakes. But go over to the USC channel at the Voice of College Football. Jackson will post that link into the chat, I'm sure, for you guys. So head over that way. Let's get ready for a night game in Morgantown. Hey, final score: West Virginia 27, Iowa State 24. That's my pick. Jackson, what's your pick?
I think West Virginia's going to upset Iowa State with a 28-24 victory in Morgantown.
Very good. Nelson, how about you, brother?
I got it going a little higher. I got it 42-35 West Virginia.
Woo! He's taking the over for sure there on this game. So 42-35. I don't see that many points. I don't see that many points getting there, but just simply because both these defenses are pretty stout. So
I believe they will because of our secondary. They'll get us in the air, but we'll get them on the ground because they're averaging 5.7 yards per play on the ground against them. And West Virginia is rushing 7.2 yards per game. West Virginia's going to get theirs. They'll get it. And that's going to, I just believe it's going to be a play action game. It's going to be run game. It's going to be a very high scoring game. I think it's going to be a very attractive game tonight.
Now, if any of you have done like I've done, I've got Tony Caridi pulled up here and on my phone, and I paused it so I don't want to miss the opening part of his show at 7:30. Which is passed by. Everybody go over and listen to Tony Caridi. But while you're listening to Tony Caridi and getting ready and getting hyped up for this game, drop into the USC show. USC is the Voice of College Football. And just tell them Joey sent you. Would you do that for me? Appreciate everybody being here tonight. Post-game show coming up right after the game. Frank Fear, Coach Greg Chris, and Mickey Plumley will have your post-game show for you. Everyone, have a great night. Night game in Morgantown. Let's go, Mountaineers.
Let's go. God bless.